Hey, welcome back to the Barn Kitchen. Today I'm processing garlic. I grow garlic in my garden every year, and I've already pulled out the bulbs that I want to plant for next year, and the rest of it I've got to do something with because it'll only keep for like 4 months or so, and then it gets dry and non-usable. I'm not going to go through this much garlic that quickly, so I need to process it. So what I'm doing today is based on a recommendation from a pamphlet from the University of California that referenced a study done at the University of Idaho where they processed garlic in a citric acid solution for 24 hours after it was minced, and then you're able to safely store it in oil and keep it in your refrigerator for use just like the store-bought stuff that you can buy. That's really expensive, and I don't see any sense in spending that money when I've got my garlic myself. It's fresh. It's a great variety. It's called what I'm growing is called German white. I haven't bought garlic for several years because once you get a good patch going and save back your cloves, you can use them over and over again. So let's get started. First thing I've got to do is separate these cloves and then peel them, and I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to peel them. This is a hard neck variety of garlic, and that's what I prefer. But you separate the cloves, and a lot of the skin will come off with it. And with my dehydrator that I have, well, actually that one came off completely, so I don't have to. But with my dehydrator, I got these silicone sheets that I use for making leathers and such. So what you can do is you take the garlic, place it inside this silicone, and just rub it back and forth real briskly for just a couple of seconds, and that peeling comes completely off. You don't have to break it with a knife, slam it down or anything, but I mean, it is just perfect. Very quick, very easy. And so what I got to do now is get all of this garlic peeled, and then I will mince it and get it soaking in the citric acid solution. So let me get this done and we will get back to you shortly. Okay, I got my garlic peeled. I peeled about 1 pound. Actually, it's exactly 1 pound of garlic. I've already weighed it over on my scale. And that's all I'm going to do for now because I think that's going to be plenty. And I have this much left over, and I want to dry some in my dehydrator to make garlic salt and garlic powder. So I'm going to stop with this 1 pound. Now, to preserve this in the citric acid, with the 1 pound of garlic, I need 4 cups of warm water. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of citric acid. And the citric acid you can buy in the canning department at Walmart. Put that in there. And then what I want to do is stir that up to where it dissolves really, really good. And then I'm going to just sit it to the side. I want to stir that up, make sure it gets dissolved. Now I'm going to take my garlic and put it in the food processor and mince it up. Let's put it in here, and we're just going to pulse it. We want to get it to where it's 1/4 inch or smaller size pieces. And that looks pretty darn good. It smells wonderful. The literature that I have read talks of when it goes into the safety of this to prevent from botulism when you put it in the oil, you've got to maintain that ratio. You cannot alter it and just shove a bunch of garlic in that citric acid. So I'm ending up with 2 containers, 4 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of citric acid in each one, and to each one of those has 1 1/3 cups of minced garlic. It's been 24 hours since we left the garlic to soak into the citric acid, so now it's time to remove that and put it in our jars. So I've got the 2 containers sitting here from yesterday. It's been soaking in the citric acid. And I am just simply going to drain that off of them through this colander into a pan. The rest of that out of there. Okay. This other one here, let that drain for a minute. And then I will be putting them into small canning jars. I don't want to put them in one great big one because I don't want it to possibility of it going bad and then ruining my entire batch, which it shouldn't, but I guess there's always that possibility. So get all of that scraped out of there. Let that citric acid drain off of it. And then we're going to take some small jelly jars that I've got and scoop it into that. Move this to the side here. I'm not going to pack it real tight. Scoop it in there. That looks good for that one. I'll do another one here. Nice and white. It's very, very fragrant. Okay, there's two. I'll finish the others later. But to each one of these jars then, you're going to add a carrier oil. And I'm going to use extra virgin olive oil. Because also, as this garlic, I'll put it up here, infuses into this oil, you can use the oil. It'll be flavored with garlic and you can use it to cook with. So I'm simply going to just cover those with oil, put a lid on them, and store them in the refrigerator. The paper that I referred to yesterday from the study said that it was okay to store them at room temperature, but I think I'm going to err on the side of caution and just keep it in my fridge. But anyway, make sure that everything gets saturated with that oil. Okay. Put a rim on it and a lid and you're done. Put a lid and a rim and you're done. Your own minced garlic. And like I said, once this sits for a week or so, and then that oil takes on that flavor of that garlic, you'll be able to use it in recipes. It didn't get down in there quite as good as I like it, so I'm going to stir it a little more. Okay. There you have it. Prices at the store and see what it cost you. I've made it from essentially my garlic and I just purchased some olive oil. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that. Hope you find some use from this and happy cooking.